Okay, so this is video number 2, I guess, of adding and subtracting with like bases. Okay, so question number 2, we're going to go 7p squared minus p squared, which is just going to give me 6p squared over 4p to the power of 3. Six over 4 can be reduced to 3 over 2. P squared divided by p to the power of 3. Where's my p going to end up? In the denominator. So it's going to be 3 over 2p as my final answer. Clearly, both of us are very immature. and that's it. Honestly, that's the end of the question. We can now go ahead and figure out what our restriction is. So what would be our restriction in this question? Yeah, the only restriction would be p cannot equal to 0 because there's no brackets in here. There's no binomial. So all you need, if you have a letter all by itself, the restriction is always that letter cannot equal to 0. Am I going too fast? You guys okay? I see thumbs up, so we're going to keep going. Let's try question number 8. And I'm choosing this question because you're gonna ask me a question as you're doing it. I guarantee it. Question number 8. Why am I writing everything down? I think it froze. There we go. So I got 2w plus 16 over 10. I factored out the 2. I got 2 bracket w plus 8 over 10. And then I just cross-reduced the 2 and the 10 to give me w plus 8 over 5. What's the restriction in this question? There is no restriction in this question because we have no variable in the denominator. The denominator will always be a number. It can never, ever be 0. It'll either be 5 or 10 or some multiple of 5 or 10. So in a question like this, you just write no restriction and that's it. The only time you have a restriction is if there is a variable in the denominator. Okay, let's do maybe 3 more examples. Let's go to the next page where the examples are a little bit harder. And I want to pick question number 15. Actually, sorry, let's pick question number. Hi. Yes, of course. I'm just. Okay, so for question 12, the reason why I chose this particular one is because look at this. Do you see how you have m plus 7 minus m minus 1? In order for you to do this question correctly, what you have to remember to do is keep the m minus 1 in brackets. Because really what happens in that numerator is you're going to have m plus 7, and then you're going to have minus all of m minus 1. And if you forget to do this, then you're not going to get your signs right and things are not going to cancel out. So just remember that that minus sign is going to be distributed to everything that comes after it. So if it is a binomial, it has to be kept in brackets. And now we're going to distribute the minus sign to everything. So this will really become m plus 7 minus m plus 1. M take away m is just 0, and 7 plus 1 is 8. So that numerator is going to simplify to give you just 8. And if you wanted to show that work on the side like I did, that's totally fine. You don't have to complicate the question or else you're like rewriting the denominator so many different times. Does everyone get what I did there? Okay, we're gonna do 2 more examples just the same. So if it didn't make sense right now, it will make sense by the third one. So the numerator is an 8. The denominator, can I factor the denominator? The greatest common factor is? And I'll be left with m plus 2. And then I can cross out the 2 8s. My final answer is just going to be 1 over m plus 2. There's only one restriction for the question, and it is m cannot equal 2. Kevin? M cannot
-2.
equal, yep, you got it. M cannot equal to -2. Okay, the last 2 questions we'll do, I'll pick nice and hard ones. We'll do questions 19 and 20. There's a lot of factoring and stuff there, so those are good questions. Okay, so let's begin question number 19 with okay, so I'm going to look at the numerator, and the numerator is basically 2g squared minus g minus 15. I can't really simplify that. There's no like terms or anything like that. So I know I can factor it, but I'll do that in the next step. So it's going to be 2g squared minus g minus 15 all over 4g squared minus 25. Whoa. The top is a complex trinomial. The bottom is a difference of squares. That's not a 1, that's a 3. So I got 2g plus 5 and g minus 3 at the top, 2g plus 5 and 2g minus 5 at the bottom. I'm going to cross out the 2g plus 5s, and I will be left with just g minus 3 over 2g minus 5. Question? Can I do what? Yeah. What are the restrictions for question number 19?
+3.
You got it right. Denoya, not +3 because we're not looking at the numerator, we're just looking at the denominator. So we would just say g cannot equal to -5/2, and it can't equal to +5/2. You just look at the denominator, which is 2g plus 5, 2g minus 5, set it equal to not 0, and then solve. You guys getting the hang of it? Yeah? Okay, last question, number 20. So our numerator, I guess just like before, I'll go over to the side. It's going to be 5w minus bracket. Remember to keep it in brackets, 3w plus 1. If you don't keep it in brackets, the signs will mess up. Then we have 5w minus 3w minus 1. And that simplifies to 2w minus 1. So just make a note to yourself, always keep the binomial in brackets so that you distribute the minus sign everywhere. Okay, so our numerator is now 2w minus 1, and we can actually factor the denominator directly because it doesn't need to be rearranged. So 2w minus 1, it is a complex trinomial. So it'll be 2w and w plus 1 minus 1. Cross that out. Cross that out, cross that out. And we're left with just 1 over w plus 1. What are the two restrictions for this? -1 is right. What was the other one? +1 over 2. Yes. Oh, what just happened there? I didn't draw a triangle. So w cannot equal to -1 and +1 over 2. Your homework is going to be to do the next 2 pages. Now, I know these, like, I understand and recognize that they're getting to be a lot of questions. Please pick and choose the ones you want to do. Often the ones at the end are the trickiest, so do those ones. For this homework, questions, where are they? Oh, they disappeared. Oh, there they are. Questions 16, 17, 18, 19 are great. So make sure you get to those ones, especially 18 and 19. They're a little bit more like thinking questions. So if you wanted to skip the first couple because they're easy, skip those and do the ones at the end. You guys online, I'm just going to, hold on, I'm going to stop the recording.